Hello my lovelies, welcome back to the channel. This is Damsel in Distress Tarot. This is going to be a bonus reading, so we're going to see kind of what's going on from now until the beginning of the new year for all of my zodiacs that watch me. So we're going to do it by elements. I like to start with the fire signs and we'll end with the earth signs. So fire, water, air, and earth in that order, and I will timestamp it in the comments so you can skip around. Watch your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus placements so that you get the full picture. Those are usually some of the more important aspects of your birth chart, and if you don't know how to find those, you can visit any sort of free website online to get your natal chart, Natal. So there is one that I like to use called freenatalchart.com. So if you're interested, you don't have to pay for it. They're all pretty much the same. So just use the free ones and it'll help you to see where your placements are. And that's what all of the astrologers and zodiac things are usually talking about. So we're going to start with the sign of Aries. All right, let's see what we need to know. What is Aries working on from now until the beginning of the year? Sun in Cancer, home. It's time to focus on your home and your love life. So there could be some developments going on in your home life. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're spending more time at home because it's winter time here in the United States. I also feel like this could be a development where maybe there's some things going on in your home life or your love life. And so maybe either there's endings, maybe there's new beginnings, maybe you're moving in with a significant other, maybe there's breakups, but whatever's going on, I feel like this is kind of home is going to be the focus for some of these things. Let's see what else we have going on. What are some soul lessons that we need to know? Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So this is an indication that we are needing to stay focused on our dreams, goals, and our aspirations, and that might require some discipline, but know that you can accomplish whatever it is that you set your mind out to do. All right, what else does Aries need to know? All right, there's definitely been a lot of either competition, clashing ego, rivalry, some definite butting of heads going on. And so I would say that if that's happening at home, that we need to find common ground, or we need to find a way to compromise in order to restore the peace. If this is something else, then it's not home life related or interpersonal relationship related, then I feel like this is an internal struggle. It could also be at work. And so we need to go towards finding that stability. You may need to be the leader that you didn't have. You might need to step out of your comfort zone and make some bold strategic moves in order to actually find the structure that you're looking for. It does look like there will be some sort of conversation that needs to be had as well, or some sort of communication coming in. It could also involve travel. So again, maybe you are moving or traveling, relocating, changing homes, things like that. And it's going to require some discipline, I feel like, in order to actually make this challenge work for you. So be grateful for everything that you have. I feel like you need to be careful that you're not being obsessed with work in the interim. And I also feel like you could be getting scammed. So be very careful that you aren't losing your hard-earned money. We also have the Lovers, so this tells us there's some sort of conversation that could need to be had in a love relationship. I feel like this is a chance for you to either deepen a connection or end a connection, and that you may need to make a choice and be willing to take a leap of faith. For some of you, you do want actual union, commitment, things like marriage. Maybe you just don't want to go about things in a traditional way, and that's totally okay. Do what works best for you. I also think that this is part of your ascension, and so Spirit could also be giving you some sort of news as well. There's been a lot of delays around whatever these situations are. I feel like that's also creating some frustration. You may have to return home, so whether that's visiting for the holidays or maybe financially you need to move back home, but I feel like you're really sick of waiting for these things to change. Have no fear, Judgment Day is here. So it does look like there's some sort of improvement. I feel like there also could be either some communication of forgiveness, or that somebody's maybe changed their mind about something, and that this could also be due to divine intervention. This is karma being dealt, so good or bad, things are starting to transition for the better, and we have the Star in reverse. So you may find out that your dreams were kind of crushed, or you're insecure about that happening. You might be in a place of despair or exhaustion. So I feel like you almost need to connect with divine energy to see what to do next. Stay disciplined about your dreams and goals, and even if something doesn't work out the way that you thought that it would, get back to the drawing board and see what you can do to accomplish your dreams or goals. Sagittarius, let's see, what do we have for you? Eclipse in Virgo, 30, reorganization. Choose duties and responsibilities carefully. So are you weighing yourself down with things that maybe don't belong to you? Do you have a lot of clutter around your home or office that's distracting you, or things that maybe you need to actually get more organized in your life? This is a chance for you to kind of delegate or choose what needs to happen next. So definitely address those things if it resonates. And balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So needing to find balance in your life, wherever that resonates, whether it's at work, whether it's at home. Maybe you need more of a home work-life balance, but definitely needing to actually have your world in a state of balance. So doing so without judgment. So don't judge yourself too harshly if, things are chaotic in your life right now. It happens. I just think that you need to work towards finding the balance somewhere in your life. Yep. And part of that is being overwhelmed. Lots of stress, lots of burdens, lots of duty. Yep. Balance is definitely needed. You're juggling something. So we want to weigh those options carefully. And part of that might be that you're just so overwhelmed and exhausted that you actually need to take a break. You need to take some time out and rest. You might also not be sleeping well. You might be having some anxiety, some nightmares, or that you're obsessing about something, thinking it over and over again. We're also needing to walk away from something that we feel like we're settling for, that you feel like it's very hopeless, or that you're worried about being alone or abandoned, and that we need to push forward. And that there's some sort of new trajectory that's coming through, and that you might be actually moving or taking a trip somewhere. So don't rush your decision, but there's definitely travel involved. Maybe you're traveling for the holidays. Maybe you're traveling for work. We have a new business opportunity coming, bringing abundance in for you. So nurture the things that you need to grow or want to grow. Could also be maybe that you need to give back to yourself. You might need to really follow your intuition as well. And remember that you are the creator of your destiny. So you have the power to actually have a breakthrough. You need to be resourceful, and you need to manifest from a place of positivity. Leos, let's see what we have for you. We have Sun in Aquarius, 11, opportunity, a readiness for change. So there's some sort of opportunity that's coming in. It will bring change to your life. So be aware of that and be ready for this new opportunity. I feel like this is something that maybe you're craving right now, that maybe you're sick of the same old, and that you really would like a change somewhere in your life. So whether that's your love life, your work life, somewhere in your life, there is an opportunity that's coming in. And we have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So something you could be holding on to that is not serving your highest good could be guilt, could be low vibrational energy. So we do want to make sure that we're actually releasing those. You can do that with deep breathing, journaling, meditation. All of those can actually help you to release low vibrational frequencies. What else do we need to know? All right, the 5 of Cups. So shifting your perspective is going to help you to welcome in this new opportunity. It will create some massive change in your life, so be prepared for the change. But I feel like you're ready for this when the opportunity presents itself. I feel like shifting your perspective is also going to allow that change to kind of come through. And it's almost like you have this revelation of, if I let go of what isn't working, all of a sudden I have new opportunities. Somebody might need some tough love. You might be a little bit skeptical that these things can actually transform for you. And I feel like this is part of your ascension, but you might also be looking forward towards marriage and commitment. In order to get there, you do have to change and let your walls down at some point. Learn to trust people again, learn to let people in. And then that welcomes in the stability and the celebration of love and commitment that you're looking for. I also feel like there could be a new addition to your family. That's echoed with the Sun card. Love and marriage, that old Frank Sinatra song is playing in my head. I can't remember if that's the title of it, something about love and marriage, they go to hand in hand like a horse and carriage. So I feel like there could be a new addition to the family. After the first of the year, I feel like there could be some announcements of pregnancy, but you're creating something. The ground is fertile for you to actually be able to create these things and have your accomplishments come forward. It's going to bring a lot of joy and satisfaction to you, especially if it's new marriage and new children coming in, but this is your fresh start, so it's very exciting news. Why? Because we finally chose to let go of the toxicity, all these negative emotions, guilt, regret, shame, controversy, violence, addictions, toxic relationships, codependency, and feeling trapped. We said no more of that. We're going towards our happily ever after. Cancers, let's see what we have. What is your theme? Eclipse in Aries 25, collaboration. Boost relationships through teamwork and compromise. So while you might like your solitude, you might like to do a lot of things alone, I feel like this is an opportunity for you to branch out and to work well with others. So know that you're going to need teamwork and compromise and service. I feel good when I can help others. So maybe you're doing some sort of act of kindness, maybe you're doing some sort of community outreach, maybe you're giving to people for the holidays, but when you are of service to others, it helps you to raise your vibration. Do it simply because you can, out of the kindness of your heart, without expecting anything in return, and I promise you it will change your energy. All right, so we need to be self-motivated. There's some sort of reward coming in, could have to do with romance, and you may have waited for quite some time for these things to change. I also feel like it's giving you some sort of freedom, or there's some new perspective coming in, and it's facilitating healing, especially where there's been any sort of betrayal or endings, hitting rock bottom. We need to sever ties in that situation. I also feel like you need to follow your intuition and bring out that softer side of you that maybe is hidden, and then you'll see some improvements, or there's a change of perspective. And part of this is karma being dealt across the board, and somebody could be facing final judgments, could also be dealing with courts or contracts, and that there is some sort of either very affectionate phase coming in, or somebody could be your knight in shining armor, bringing in the love that you are craving. I feel like you may have manifested this person as well. Remember that your thoughts become things, so keep them as positive as possible, and that you are going to see a breakthrough because of your resourcefulness. So create the life that you're looking for. There will be some sort of truth or clarity that's revealed to you. Creative thinking is going to help you to bring forward that breakthrough, especially after some sort of painful ending. Pisces, let's see what we have for you. Moon in Capricorn 22, accomplishment. Scale mountains to gain a sense of achievement. So I feel like you could have been facing a lot of challenges towards the end of this year. It might have to do with the retrograde. Mercury in retrograde, I believe, starts the 13th of the month, so next week. We're already in the shadow phase, so lots of ups and downs, a lot of kind of trying to climb mountains and feel like you get knocked back 10 steps, you know? So really kind of take that with a grain of salt and realize that if you're being knocked down, or if you're going through setback after setback, challenge after challenge, that you can scale that mountain, but temporarily you may need to kind of pause. And so the reason why is that you actually need to evaluate things and see if they're for you, or if it's something you wish to let go of in order to reach that next milestone or accomplishment. And denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So this would be the sacral chakra is orange. So I feel like that could be being activated right now as well. And if you're in a state of denial about literally anything in your life, acknowledge your fear. What does fear stand for? False emotions appearing real. It's your ego talking. So squash that little guy and tell him to pipe down, but replace it with the insight of awareness. How do you replace it? You follow your intuition. Your internal GPS, as I like to call it, will never steer you wrong. So if you're dealing with some issues, you may need to actually try and follow your intuition instead. All right, we start with justice. So So that tells us that we have either some sort of legal issue that's going to be resolved in your favor, courts, contracts, issues like that, or that we are trying to find harmony and balance within our life everywhere that we go. So I feel like if that's your accomplishment that you might be working towards, is that you're settling some things. Maybe it's court cases, maybe it's some sort of contract or negotiation, but it does look like you're going towards harmony and balance. I feel like you've been very overwhelmed, or you may be from now until the end of the year, that you might have a lot on your plate. You might be heavily burdened, heavily stressed out. See if there's anything that you can remove from your life that is not needed. And you need to start by setting some goals. That's how you achieve your accomplishments, right? So start by setting some goals, stay loyal to yourself. There's opportunities that are trying to manifest, and remember, always manifest from a state of positivity. I feel like you will be victorious. There is the potential even for like fame, reward, accomplishments, some sort of recognition in the public eye, that maybe all of a sudden you're finally seen for what it is that you bring to the table. So that could be a little unnerving. Most Pisces are kind of more introverted than extroverted. So it could be a little bit of a shock. However, I think that it's going to help to move you forward out of conflict and chaos into calmer waters, to your harmony, your balance, and the peaceful state of being, and that this is your destiny. So maybe you are destined to actually be famous, or maybe you're destined to find good fortune. I do feel like this brings a lot of unexpected wealth to you, and that this is truly your destiny, that you've paid your dues and this is what reaps the reward. So in the meantime, get as much rest as you can, because I feel like it'll be short-lived, that you won't have near as much time of downtime or rest and recovery. You need to make a decision as well about your future plans, and it might involve some travel. So you will have to make a decision, and you cannot juggle things forever. So you need to make a choice. There's definitely some balance needed. And for some of you, you need to be very careful that you're not getting scammed or being work obsessed. And you do need to be careful with hoarding resources. We're trying to find stability. Know that more is coming. So stop the overthinking, and you might be having a lot of trouble sleeping right now. Know that slow and steady wins the race. You will be successful. You have a victory coming. You have more money coming, and know that it's coming when it's supposed to, and that is your accomplishment. Scorpios, let's see what we have for you. Moon in Leo, 17, heroism. Let your inner hero out. So you may have to defend yourself or other people. You might have to stand up for yourself or other people, or you might actually have to be the hero this week or coming towards the 1st of January. We have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So know that no matter what the situation is, if you feel like there's been a failure, a letdown, something didn't quite go the way that you wanted it to, know that there is an opportunity for you to see something differently and to evaluate that it's only an opportunity to learn. So don't take any sort of failure as like the end-all be-all. I feel like it's just an opportunity for you to learn. You might have been betrayed. There could have been some sort of ending, or that you might need to sever ties somewhere. There might be a lot of bullying, maybe some crimes, or that there's been a lot of betrayal, confusion, arguments, and conflicts, and that this is an opportunity for you to step in a new direction, to take a leap of faith and to try new things, new possibilities. So be willing to step out of your comfort zone to find the peace, the harmony, and the balance that you're looking for. It's also a good influence coming into your life, and I feel like for some of you it could be a reconciliation. Be cautious that you're not hoarding resources. We want equal give and take. Know that there is more coming to you. In the meantime, pinch pennies where you need to, but let go of the anxiety so that you can finally get some more rest, because you might be struggling with that. We also need to realize that in order to achieve our goals, that it's going to take some hard work, and in order to be successful, slow and steady wins the race, especially in business. But we need to be willing to walk away from the things that don't work. So whether it's a relationship, a job, or something else, remember that we don't want to keep holding on to things like fear of abandonment, depression, or settling for less than what we want, because it can be very hopeless in that situation. Be very careful of who you get involved with. There could be people who are trying to deceive you. Don't worry, it looks like they will be getting caught for any of this. They will be getting outsmarted for any sort of deception, or their conscience finally catches up with them. Geminis, let's see what we have for you. Eclipse in Libra, 31, rebalance. Reevaluate relationships, use justice and fair play. So remember that Libra is the scales, right? So it's symbolic of justice. It's symbolic of finding balance, finding harmony. So there's somewhere in your life that you may need that to actually reevaluate. Could be your health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So we're trying to make maybe some healthier choices in our life, whether that's relationships, our finances, our body, how we eat, how we sleep, all of those things. Remember, you only get one body to incarnate into at a time, so you want to take very good care of the body that you're in. Could be struggling with some health issues. Some of that might be simply resolved with simple dietary choices or lifestyle choices or lowering your stress levels. So all of those things might be important to find the balance. What else do we need to know? All right. Some of that could be letting go of toxicity, maybe negative relationships, might be struggling financially. There could definitely be some things coming up from the past that you don't want to deal with. And I feel like all of those things could wreak havoc on your whole body, especially your mental and physical health. So we want to let go of toxicity. We want to not worry so much about every little detail in our life. And if you're going through financial issues, this is a period of recovery. You might have isolated yourself recently. You may have blocked somebody, but you're in a period of recovery. So there will be either more money coming to you or there's a new job opportunity. And I feel like there's also some issues coming up from the past. So we might have to address those as well. It does look like you're going towards a victory, some sort of happiness, especially in a relationship. It could be marriage for some of you. Maybe you're finally moving, traveling, relocating, but there's some sort of forward movement and the opportunity to travel. And I feel like this is a lot of recognition coming in, or potentially even fame, but it's a victory, something that you are accomplishing. I also feel like this is for you to face your fears and to finally make a decision. Use your intellect in order to decide, use your intuition, and shift your perspective in order to see things differently. Again, the High Priestess is talking about using your intuition. So your intuition is going to guide you where you need to be. Don't doubt that. Let go of the fear and make wise decisions. Libras, let's see what we have going on for you. Moon in Libra, 19, love. Bring peace to your life and your relationships will flourish. So what is it that's not peaceful in your relationships? Is there anything that's going on that maybe you have the power to actually change? Because I feel like that's what will bring the balance and abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So abundance truly is a state of mind. Do you believe that it's possible to be abundant? Do you believe that it's possible to have the love that you want in your life? Part of it starts just with believing it, and then you start to align with that energy to go forward. All right, looks like you could be really burnt out somewhere in life. There's your energy, Libra, with the Justice card. We need to find the balance somewhere. So part of that starts with being honest with yourself and others. And I feel like if you're not, some things could kind of go awry. So we want to make sure that we are. I do feel like you're going through some sort of transitional phase, a metamorphosis or an evolution. This could include some sort of loss or major change in your life. So whether that's in love, whether that's with work, know that these changes are necessary to transform the energy. I also feel like with the Seven of Swords in reverse, that if there's any sort of deception, somebody is getting outsmarted. So you might actually be getting outsmarted by somebody else, or your conscience is going to catch up with you. Honesty is always the best policy for most things in life. So be careful, because if it's you that's being deceptive, you are going to get caught. Know that your intuition will never guide you in the wrong direction, so listen to your intuition. There's some sort of either mystery or enigma and hidden knowledge that you need to tap into to create the balance. And I also feel like it's time to step into a leadership role. Again, honesty is something that you may need to embrace, and that you need to be a passionate leader. Follow your passions. It's going to help bring you success and joy. I also feel like in order to be successful, you're going to have to be willing to do the hard work and know that slow and steady wins the race. The Lovers indicates that there's some sort of leap of faith that needs to be taken. There also needs to be trust and harmony in a relationship in order to create a stable union, and that there is some forward progress. You could be moving, making a decision to travel, or that there's some sort of rushed decision that you might be making. So be cautious with that. Make sure that you think things out before you decide, but there's definitely an indication that things are finally going forward. Aquarius, let's see what we have for my aqua sauce. Eclipse in Scorpio, 32 regeneration. Stand firm in the eye of a storm. So whatever you're going through, know that you need to be not only flexible, but you also need to endure. And the regeneration is telling you that once the storm passes, you get to kind of pick up the pieces and start fresh. And fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So we make all decisions based out of two emotions, fear or love. You want to try and base all of your choices and decisions out of love, not out of fear. Remember that fear stands for false emotions appearing real. It is an illusion. It is your ego talking, and we need to try and operate in love, which is our intuition. All right, what else do we need to know for Aquarius? All right, the Four of Cups. There could be some sort of unexpected love offer coming in. I also feel like you could be kind of living in la la land or daydreaming when this comes in. You aren't going to expect it and you won't see it coming. However, it could also be that you're operating in fear of being alone or abandoned, and so you might be in a state of depression, or that you're settling for something because you feel that there's no hope for it going forward. The truth is that there's a very balanced union trying to come in and take its place. I feel like that's the unexpected offer. It may shock you or surprise you from who or where this comes from, but I feel like you need to investigate it further. So if you've been dealing with things not being resolved out of fear, that you need to let go of something. There's somewhere in your life that you need to sever ties. It might feel like you've hit rock bottom or you've been betrayed before, but it's time to let go of that energy. There's new opportunities trying to come in for you. So there's magic in manifesting, a creative breakthrough. Remember, you're very resourceful, so think positive and manifest what it is that you want. Some of you need to find your passion again. You need to be honest with yourself if something isn't working and make the necessary changes to go forward, and you will be victorious. You could potentially end up famous, or there is potential for some sort of public recognition coming, and that you've waited a long time. This will bring you some sort of romance or freedom. So let go of the stress, the heavy burdens, and the overwhelm that you've been experiencing, and release the fear to welcome in your new opportunities and success. Virgo, let's see what we have going on for you. Eclipse in Leo, 29, compassion. Shine brightly like the star that you are. So I feel like by aligning with compassionate energy towards yourself and others, all of a sudden things start to transform in your life, and people really start to see that you stand out and that you kind of glow. Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So remember the saying, as one door closes, a new one will open. So typically the death card in tarot is not usually literal. It is typically seen as an ending, something that needs to stay, it needs to stick, it needs to be final, but it's merely an ending so that a new opportunity can take its place. Energetically, sometimes we have to let go of things. Part of that could be an illusion. You might be being deceived by somebody, you might be under their spell, and this is creating a lot of anguish or melancholy in your life. You might be fatigued, you might have had to endure these things for some time, so again, there needs to be a permanent ending in order to resolve some of this. You also might have your walls super high, so you have to evaluate whether that's working for you or whether you need to learn to trust again. And don't gamble with things that you can't stand to lose. So don't make any sort of reckless large purchases right now. It's time to let go of those things. Work hard towards your goals. Know that slow and steady will bring you the success that you're looking for, and that you are looking for harmony and balance. And some of that may come through either a court case or decision, and I feel like that helps to restore the balance in your life that you need. Remember that if you're going through a lot, you might need some rest and recovery. Could also be some things from the past resurfacing. We're about to enter Mercury in retrograde on December the 13th, and it ends shortly after the first of the year in January. So creative thinking is bringing some growth. There's also some passion projects that could be coming to the surface. So I feel like there is opportunities that are awaiting you to make some sort of final decision that brings in prosperity. And again, your walls might be very high. So if there's boundaries needed, then make sure that you stick to those. If your walls are high because you don't trust people easily, learn to let them down slowly over time and stick up for what it is that you believe in. You may have to mount your defenses. Taurus, let's see what we have going on for you. Moon in Sagittarius, 21, discovery. Freedom and adventure. I love that this one depicts like a rocket ship leaving. So maybe you're going on an adventure. Maybe there's something that you need freedom in your life, or you're trying to discover some new things. So embrace the discovery. And grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So whether that's a job, whether that's a physical loss, grief is a symptom. It's not necessarily like the cause or the starting point. But you need to understand that when you lose something, you need to appreciate everything that you have while you have it. So that's kind of the indication with the grief card. Could also be your sacral chakra is being affected. So that sits below the belly button in your stomach. The color orange is associated with that. I always think when it's in flow state, it's like our pleasure center. It's something that brings us joy. Are you following things in your life that bring you joy? Are you doing things that bring you pleasure? Sometimes I feel like Taurus especially, we are kind of affected in our stomach, right? Food tends to be our love language for Taurus. And so it's like that might be how somebody can express how they love you. Maybe they cook for you. Maybe they feed you your favorite food. But I feel like they're showing me energetically like a teddy bear. So I feel like you could be kind of cold and stoic sometimes, but on the inside, you're just a big squishy teddy bear that really just wants to be appreciated. So there needs to be some sort of discovery of freedom and adventure in your life. And grief is showing you that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So appreciate everything and everyone that you have while they're in your life, because life is very short. What else do we need to know for Taurus? Okay, the Magician. So I feel like you could be manifesting something new in your life. Maybe you're manifesting a breakthrough somewhere. Remember that you are the creator of your destiny. And this change is necessary in order for you to get to this next step. So what Spirit is saying is that you need to let go of anything that's toxic. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's addictions, codependency, feeling stuck or trapped, and that there's creativity and new beginnings coming for you that brings some growth. It's also a card about following your passions. So maybe you're discovering some new passions or new things that you're excited about. Let go of the anxiety and the overthinking. I feel like it could be keeping you up at night, and that you might be obsessively overthinking these things that need to change. I also feel like by trusting your intuition, you're going to see where you need to go, and that's echoed with the High Priestess. The Queen of Cups is someone who's very feminine energy. She's very warm. She's very nurturing. And maybe you need to connect with your mother figure. If you've lost your mother figure like I have, mine is in spirit. I still talk to her a lot like she's still living. And hopefully she gives me some sort of sign that she gets that message. But I feel like by connecting to that softer side that you start to actually open up these opportunities, or maybe you're discovering new things about yourself. I also feel like your intuition could be showing you things in dreams where maybe you're a little bit more receptive to these hidden wisdom or hidden knowledge. And I feel like there needs to be some sort of communication. Could have to do with results of something or some sort of travel, but it is quick moving communication that needs to happen. I feel like there's lots of options for you to choose. So really trust your intuition and choose wisely. Remember the saying, everything that glitters isn't gold. If it seems too good to be true, it usually is. And last but not least, my Capricorns. What do we have going on for you? Eclipse in Taurus, 26, reevaluation, a change of heart. So someplace in your life, you might be reevaluating whether something is working for you. This could be a relationship. It could be anything in your life, but you may have changed your mind or had a change of heart. So if something isn't quite working for you, evaluate it and decide whether it's going to work or not. And acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. So I feel like there's some things in your life that you are really contemplating whether it's worth your time, whether it's not, and really what to do about it going forward. So accept the things that you cannot change, and that will help to open up doorways of opportunities to come in that are better suited. All right, it does look like we have some sort of fame, reward, or victory coming in after a long-fought battle. This could be recognition in the public eye, maybe something that you do goes viral online, maybe it's some sort of accomplishment through work, but there is some sort of success coming to you. I feel like this helps you to realize what your dreams actually are, and it brings you a lot of pleasure and happiness going forward, like a wish come true, that helps you to kind of resolve some sort of heartbreak, pain, or sadness that you might be dealing with. So this is a period of recovery. We've already been through a lot of pain and heartbreak, it looks like. So we need to evaluate what is next for us. I feel like you're also juggling something, or there's a choice that needs to be made. And this choice has to happen in order for us to actually find the balance in our life once again. So whether that comes through courts, contracts, legal issues, or just resolving something in an equal give and take sort of way and create balance, I feel like that choice needs to be made. So reevaluate what's working and what isn't, but view it from a positive place of being. If you're in doom and gloom and negativity, a lot of pessimism or lack of imagination, shift that way of thinking and see things differently. You will have some good news coming in, reason to celebrate with friends or family, parties or celebrations coming in. Could be that you're celebrating the holidays, or it could be that this new fame or victory that's coming in is the good news you're celebrating. So sever ties where they need to be ended, betrayals, backstabbing, things like that, hitting rock bottom, sever ties in those areas because it's not for your good. And be cautious of an authority figure. I feel like this could also be where you need some boundaries. We call him Mr. Grumpy in Tarot, the King of Swords. He doesn't really show his emotions usually other than anger and like distaste for things, so he can be kind of hard to deal with. He is somebody who's very logical and very loyal, but he's very rigid and he's not very flexible. So be cautious with that. If things aren't working out in that situation, it may be time to sever ties. Have a great week, guys. We'll see you soon.